Vertigo, they would have come into that series with pretty minimal prep and not knowing what they're going up against. But the more rounds that were played, the more Sprout could adapt. And now going on to Mirage, I feel like the tables could be turned a little bit because now ENCE's playbook should come into force, and kind of these late half changes shouldn't be as violent towards the way of Sprout.
One matchup I'm very curious to see is to see how Diha's going to do, right? Very quiet on Vertigo. Marix was getting the better of him on those beat plays more often than not, and it was a clear weakness there for ENCE. So he's a player we look to be a really strong bastion for this team, and see if he can do it again. Smokes in. This seems to be a pretty straightforward pistol, and the pistols have been good for ENCE so far in the series, but Rawls will at least find his pound of flesh. They're trying to battle back in towards Ticket. The flashbang's there for it. No one finds the kills for a while. Eventually, Hades brings that one in. Now bomb down, 4-on-4. Control towards Ticket. This is a pretty prime position, though, I will say. Diha's days might just be numbered. Stacked up on top, 3 players about to swing on through. Somehow he still does the damage, and okay, they're fine.
Spiidi. What can he do here, man? What can he do? No kit, no opportunities, and we ask questions of Diha, and I think he's just proven to you that he's back and he's ready to play.
I like it. I like it. These are the early kills, right? Need to get them. But sometimes they just get the gears turning. And as you said before, you know, this is much more a Mirage team than they are a Vertigo team. They really don't play Vertigo. At least not very often. So, maybe they'll have another reason to avoid that in the veto in the future. Investment into this round. Couple scouts. MP9 for Rawls, who wants to get aggressive, it seems, in towards the ramp. Doesn't have a lot of support here. Bit more as slaxz moves into the angle. No, okay. They're going for a pretty heavy stack here. So can Rawls kill everybody? No, he cannot. And now A is ripe for the taking.
They might choose to save. They might choose to save very early here, especially if slaxz can't get anything done from CT. It's a lot of damage. His business is sticking around. Another kill goes the way of Hades, and maybe it's starting to look like guys just hold on to these pistols and the armor. Problem is Snappy. He's on the flank, and I don't think any of these players are going to be saving now.
No, I don't imagine so. For Snappy, chance to make money. A very long-range decision there. Maybe could have closed ranks, but he does get one. And he's down for the count. All into Staehr, no health. Obviously can't go for this round. But can he keep the scout alive into the next? Looks like the answer is yes. Bomb doesn't kill him here, right?
We're going to be close.
Real close. That's when you're pressed up against the wall. You're like, all right, give me every pixel of room here, please. CS.
I can only imagine like, the noise he was making as the bomb went off as well.
Just a high-pitched whine.
Or something.
Like a kettle boiling.
Exactly, yeah. All right. 2 to the good for ENCE. I guess it's a technical. I see no reason for a tactical pause this early. So a little bit of a breather for both teams is ENCE. So far, so good. Kept a good number of players alive there, and another opportunity now to double up in that regard. Keep the money rolling. And for Sprout, opposite side of the coin, any economic damage here is a result.
All right, so let's do a little bit of theory crafting here. Let's paint a word picture of how this could be a Sprout map, right? Because we all know it should be an ENCE map. I think we've established that firmly. But how could it be a Sprout map here, Alan?
Slaxz on the CT side has to be brilliant. A lot of options on the CT side of Mirage, and I want to see him being super dynamic. Every spawn, I want to see him taking it. I want to see the players around him setting him up. Lots of utility and good mid-round mobility as well for good measure. So slaxz is the first point. I'll be honest, I'm not totally sure what the CT positions are for this team, but whoever's playing connector and short, got to be doing a lot of work. And as a trio, if they're doing a lot of good stuff in terms of shutting down mid, maybe be good as what is going on here? What just happened? Staehr, ring Rosie finds the kill.
He wanted that kill so badly. He just chased Staehr. He does the damage. He keeps just catching him on his heels, not being able to pop out the shot. So he just yeets himself to chase it. And now he gives up his life. Really trying to hunt those ecos there. This should still be fine, of course. Shouldn't be a big deal, but that one's going to look a little bit awkward for Snappy. Look, sometimes as an in-game leader, you really need to get those stats up for when it comes contract time. And ecos, that's the best round to do it. Pad them numbers. Hades goes down. That's a gun. That's a gun. Can Spiidi get away? No, he can't. That would have been a really massive find. But that AK doesn't escape, and now it's just on the Staehr. Malian's found one kill in this round. There's not going to be another.
Well, interesting scenes on the B-bomb site.
Yep, bold choices, Snappy.
I respect. He knows his best chance for frags. Vertigo was a little bit tricky for him, so why not get aggressive? And didn't work out. But we respect the ambition here on the cast. It's what we like to see. And now the guns are in play. What have you got, Sprout?
Rolls is dead. Full caps on those rolls. He has been capped. And with it, now Sprout's in a really awkward position. They've got no inroads. They have some utility. They do have kits as well, but this is going to be a tricky retake to make work. And as that bomb goes down, slaxz has to win this duel. And he doesn't. This should be a save at this point. Certainly. Maybe. Ooh. Are they still going to go for this?
I think the issue is they can't really fall away. Now that Spiidi's committed, they'd love to save that AWP as well, but I think ENCE are well aware, and Eha doesn't expect a player to be up close, so his utility should be able to grab the AWP and get out of there. Going for it just yet. Letting the spams through first. That's going to be 4 for ENCE. Good so far. All the opening kills going their way. Sprout swallowing their pride, taking the eco, and now a difficult buy decision going into the next.
They're just putting Rawls in a really tough position, right? Where he's just completely solo towards A. Really doesn't have a lot of help until later in the round from jungle or anything. So if Rawls dies, site lost. And Rawls, to be fair, isn't really playing tucked, right? He's not playing any sort of sneaky position either. It's a pretty tough setup towards A initially, right? It just doesn't leave a lot of margin for error, and so far ENCE have been exploiting that. So here's the adjustment coming in. Rawls is still here. Now there's a fight in towards mid, and slaxz, the man you highlighted, the guy who needs to take a step forward here. This is going to be a winnable map for Sprout. Well, he does chime in first.
Yeah, pre-molly there onto the window smoke. That's why there was a gap on the right side. And I'm a little bit surprised ENCE went out after hearing the smoke on the mollies, so maybe a lapse in communication. And that's going to allow slaxz to open it up, as you mentioned. Rouse is very committed on the bomb site with nobody nearby. So if they can isolate Rouse here under balcony, suddenly that A defense becomes a hell of a lot weaker.
That smoke fading does make it interesting, though. He can get a bit of help. Molotov's going to be good timing, and nobody clears it. Weren't expecting him under the balcony, and Madden was trying to make a really big solo play, but it just means he'll die alone. All right, Dia. Asking some questions into this round. With slaxz solo as well. If they can win some fights here on the site, maybe this wouldn't be an appetizing retake. Staehr needs to hang on to his position. He needs to control this, and he knows it. They're making life difficult. They're mollying him out, and he's going to back away. Try and keep his life on up. Instead, they'll leave it to the AWP, and the AWP will prevent the bomb plant. Here we go. This round's interesting now. Flashbang for a peek through, but Staehr's position makes it a bit of an issue. Got to be posted up here, and they are going to be so, but Hades can't find the shot. The bomb is down, but now Diha has to clutch. Doesn't even have most of his health. He's trying to dodge, but either way, they're chasing him on down. That's a round win. That's a retake. That's 3 alive to boot. And that one actually looked pretty dang good for Sprout.
Early entry. Crossfires on A looking good. The scary part is those early rounds and anti-ecos in particular were pretty clean from ENCE. Banked up a good amount of cash. We're buying here. They get a bomb plant. They'll be able to buy in the next as well, even if they lose. So not out of the woods yet. And I think Sprouts are recognizing their position. Take a pause early. Discuss what to do. We don't want to get reset so early on. What do you go for in this round? Because I don't think that trick with the window pre-molly is going to work again. I don't think you'll catch ENCE off guard twice in a row.
All right. Full send it, run down mid.
That's the Mike approved strategy, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Smoke in for the window. 3 players coming here. Probably not happening.
Well, if you wanted Sprout to run up mid.
Yeah, I kind of like this.
You got
Marix
that.
is sending it. Full sending. He spotted an elbow. But now they've spotted him. Time to get away. And he's around the corner. Okay. No harm, no foul. Gives him the slit. ENCE have been completely rebuffed from everything they wanted to do early in this round, right? They've taken the mid control, though. And now what do they do with it, Alan?
Yeah, I think something that has to be said is actually Sprout have dumped a lot of utility, holding them off thus far. So coming to this late round, it's not so bad for ENCE to then clear out mid. That's a window smoke coming in for now. Is Staehr? Where did that frag come from?
Absolutely.
Collects Spiidi. Maybe trying to get aggressive. Staehr behind it, realizes the position. Doesn't want to leave his team in a man deficit. Finds a good trade, jumps out of dodge, and slaxz is radiant waiting. The 1-2 punch working perfectly. The bomb is dropped in apartments. Now the rotates can come over as well. Adam's in a good position. Unless he capitalizes, it's going to be so hard here. Brents. Oh, Marix, ready and waiting. Great stuff from him. Had a good showing on Vertigo and doesn't seem to be missing a beat so far, Mirage.
It feels like Sprout are doing a really good job towards that B side of the map of, like, stringing along ENCE, right? They're doing a great job of someone's getting a kill and bailing. And so they try and ENCE tries to chase. They see that piece of candy. They're trying to chase that player. But then there's suddenly someone else there. There's an AWP. There's another angle. There's another player. And just losing the numbers. So ENCE, despite having that early advantage, right? They wanted another swing at it. They wanted the space. And Sprout weren't even a little bit cowed. They just went right back into it, right back into the fray, and it worked out. Well done from Staehr as well. He then bails. The AWP posts up. Boom! There's another one. It all falls apart.
Good read. You have save from Sprout to have the numbers there to pull off such a maneuver. A risky business. Mid and A were very exposed. Fortunate in their respect that kind of ENCE did really commit to that B side of the map as slaxz. This is exactly what I wanted. Getting aggressive. No fear. Early tag onto Hades. Doesn't find the kill. Well, that should make ENCE very nervous later on in the half.
Let's just have the deagle. It's not a catastrophe in Madden. Do Madden things. We haven't seen the Spinks show so far. Just to say, he's still being very solid. He just hasn't gotten multiple 4Ks to this point.
I think he's earned himself a little bit of a respite.
Yeah, well,
wouldn't you say?
I was going to say, maybe he's just used up his full multi-kill allotment, right? You have a set amount, a set ration. He's used them all already. See if he can reset his quota. Oh, player passed. And Staehr getting past that scope is going to be able to take out Spiidi. Now he's in towards the van. Pressure comes on for slaxz. A smoke to block him off. Instead of smoke of his own, Spinks getting nothing done in towards mid. That bomb's going down, though. At the very least, a plant found out of it. This round gets a bit spicier.
An absolute wide swing central so far. Everybody's peeking. Trying to use these flashes to take some space and short, but they seem to be bouncing the wrong way. What's going on there? Staehr got a quick heads to make this work. Hades left alone. 1 on 3, 37 HP. Now he's going to be located. Deagle in hand. Finds the first. Let's not count him out. The bomb is for him. Surely not, Mike. Surely not. And Marix.
Oh, that would have been too spicy.
Man of the hour. Pins him to the wall. And these rounds are getting a little bit bizarre. Scrappy from both sides, we might say.
Certainly. Certainly. The big advantage here for Sprout is that they do have a little bit of cash reserve to fall back on, right? slaxz had those stacks. so he can pass some guns around to make sure that they are going to be able to get a comfortable buy up into this round. But ENCE, I feel like we're seeing this slip away much quicker than we did, right? In Vertigo, we had both halves start really nicely for ENCE, and then Sprout drug it back. This time, we only got 4 rounds, so really can't let as many in a row go. Nice early start here for Hades. Rawls might realize this is a trap. It's a trap! It's a trap! He's gonna get chased down. Guns now found. That's worked out beautifully for ENCE. They get the weaponry upgrade, and Staehr's gonna go hunting to try and bring it back and whack.
Marix, not shy from still getting aggressive, and for Sprout, there's been so much confidence in these rounds. They're so willing to get aggressive as Deha himself swings up from Catwalk. That felt like it was going to be an easy frag. Snappy looks for the trade. Marix dancing with the devil. He's such low HP. Needs to get out of dodge. And now it's a 1v1. Bomb is recovered. Snappy versus slaxz.
Does this old dog have any new tricks here for Snappy? He's got a bomb site is what he's got. And he's got a slaxz who's been completely read around the world and is going to need to even take quite a bit of time to even rotate back in to make this possible. So Snappy now can hide wherever he wants. And he's going to take advantage of every one of those seconds to actually reroute in towards jungle, perhaps. slaxz doesn't know which site it's on. He's trying to get close enough to listen to the bomb. He's found the rifle now. He's bled a lot of time to do so. And now the reload's been heard. Snappy knows where he is. He's got all the info. slaxz is going to open himself up to a broadside. Snappy's got it. The wily captain takes another.
Tough pill to swallow for Sprout. Saw a lot of these on Vertigo. This feels like the first. The unlikely round wins from ENCE as Snappy, the in-game leader. He had a tough time on the first map. Looking good so far, and I guess the other player asking questions of was Deha, and again, another player starting strong. So it might be Spinks on a little bit of a back burner now, but the teammates are starting to get into shape, and now we're seeing the depth of this ENCE lineup.
Very much spread out in this one. Madden holding court in mid, and they do have Staehr bunched up in towards the underpass, so now he's kind of stuck. Has some support. Rawls going down. They might want to try and get out of that position, and it's just too far gone. The op coming back through. There's too many scopes here in mid. Too many crosshairs to deal with. Sprout on the back foot here. Marix will try to bring something back through, and he has been impressive, but this is too much of an ask. And well, that was awkward for Spinks. Now suddenly this round might be open up once more. Marix trying to slide back in, but he will be deleted. Snappy stepping up.
This is the bomb.
Oh, uh-oh. 50 seconds. Spiidi can just hold court. He can just lock it down. He can just zone it out. He's got the C4. What a blunder for ENCE. They're given the possibility back over. They'll try and double peek it, but they line up. No! Deha is good on the shot. A team ace for ENCE. That got weird.
That was millimeters or milliseconds, whichever way around, from being a collateral.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was so close. But ENCE again. It just feels like in this series, now we're seeing it develop, almost every 50-50 is going their way, and Sprout again. It's got to be so hard mentally in some of these rounds, in such strong places, and you feel like just centimeters from getting over the line. But look at the cash in the bank for Sprout. Needless to say, the eco had to come in, and honestly, the buy in the next round is going to be far from brilliant either.
I do want to say,
looking good.
We've got a minute here, right? This isn't going to do anything. Okay, I feel confident that nothing's going to happen in this round. Staehr's just going to watch his death come towards him. But I think that... So this Sprout lineup, right, has gained a little bit of a reputation as sort of a talent farm, if you will, right? Like, they bring up talent through the team. The joke is they're the big academy roster, so on and so forth. We've seen a lot of players come through this roster, Deha included, over on the other side now. Favin, obviously, the latest one to get promoted up to another squad. I think Marix is the next one. I'm really impressed by what we've seen so far in the series. It's not so much been like enormously flashy plays. It's just been he's been really good on entries, which we'll hopefully see in the second half. And I really like the way he's playing a lot of different situations. So I'm excited now. He's on my radar firmly.
Good to hear. Certainly from a kind of mechanical and individual perspective, there's no doubting his potential in some of these rounds. Certainly we have a lot of areas to learn given relative inexperience at this level of competition, but that's what we like to see here at Pro League. Lots of matches played, lots of opportunities to gain that exposure, but slaxz, he's a wily fox, he knows what he's doing. He's finding entry kills here on the CT side.
Needs it as well. Apps has been such a bear for ENCE. So many moments they've been caught out on it. It does seem like they're going to risk again. They're still committed here with 3. Hades just to set up the util. Try and come on through. It is slaxz isolated in the site if this flash catches him. Could be a bit of spice on it. The flash does indeed. Doesn't hit the timing shot. He'll call for the cavalry, but it might be too late. slaxz has to do it himself, and so far so good. And now he's got support. Marix into the angle to help out his AWPer. And this is going to get so rough. slaxz tries the no-scope. That one's not on. And he's fortunate to slip away, but he'll get more chances, and this time he does hit it. Only needs one button on that mouse. There's his 4th of the round, and that style points on top.
Now we're heating up. Now we're heating up. Finds the entry. This last one is just so unreasonable, isn't it? Peeks out, gets the no-scope. Finish off the highlights in perfect fashion, and ENCE have decided... Been blindsided a couple times here on B. We need to take a timeout and reassess where we're going. Because it feels like to me, they've been going mid. They've been finding a lot more success.
Timeout will slip by. ENCE discussing whatever they're seeing. Whatever's going on. Chance to chime in here for Saul. The Last Fin in ENCE. I think I've seen that movie before. The Last Fin?
No. Enlighten me.
I haven't either.
Oh.
It's like The Last of the Mohicans, but it's The Last of the Finns. It's just a lot of very stoic appearance. Very stoic faces.
I'd hope so.
Ooh. Ooh. We saw this work before. They're going to try and go for a little bit of a boost to maybe catch him off guard, though. slaxz. Patient waiting. He's a hunter here. Been so very good. Obviously, that last round was impressive. See if we can find some more fireworks. They won't give him an opportunity, but elsewhere, Rawls gets the party started. Quite the shot from D-Hit in return. 1 for 1 still. Not the worst thing in the world. Advantage for the moment for Sprout. And make that a little bit better.
Madden, caught out in the open, somehow finds the fragster. Gets the opportunity at the trade, and Sprout throughout this round. They've been all over the place, fighting into A, fighting into mid. They actually gave up the B bomb site for a good period of that round, so ballsy calling on the move, and it pays off. ENCE money not looking good. They're going to force up behind it, and suddenly we're looking at this and saying Sprout on track for at least a commendable scoreline here on the CT side of Mirage.
Really does feel like Shades of Vertigo, right? Where it was ENCE all the way through the beginning, and then suddenly a few rounds go the way of Sprout, and the money is bleak. So this could be a huge swing, another prime opportunity for Sprout to make this game so very close. And ENCE watching a lead slip away once more has to be making them feel just a bit nervous. You're right, though. They have been doing a great job over on the Sprout side of shifting the numbers around. I mean, we had that round where they were 3 up in apps that wound up working beautifully. This time, it's the mid-fight, moving the players around, chasing on after those kills, finding the timing on it. They really are playing a bit bold, and sometimes you got to go bold when you're the underdog, you know? Got to get spicy.
Yeah, certainly, and haven't been able to catch all their other games, but certainly in other matchups, they must have come in with that approach. You can't play a top team and assume you're going to get away with standard setup sitting back with just numbers spread out. Got to take a bit of a risk. make a read, load up somewhere in numbers, and try and use that to your advantage. And clearly in the last few rounds, those reads have been looking pretty sweet for Sprouts. Can they keep it going and make the right read here?
Rolls. Deleted in mid. Didn't realize players were already under him. Already under the lip, but he gets caught off guard. This could be a huge kill, and indeed it is. Now the middle of the map's wide open, and that slaxz completely isolated. He's going to have to do a huge amount of damage here. His teammates can't even trust the rotate. Staehr's going to have to clear this, and indeed he does. All right, so now support can come through. Now the numbers have even been equalized, and slaxz wants to go bold. The madman leaves himself in the open, and this time he's punished for it, but the trade is nigh instant. This one's back and forth. This one's an absolute seesaw of a round, and Spiidi's going to try and hold the line, and he should succeed here. So it's all on to Hades now, who is beating a long rotate all the way around the world.
Sprouts. They're only now just getting the information. They decided to double peek and clear out A. So it looks like Hades is on track for a plant. But I think Spiidi here is the man to watch. He's flanking through underpass. I'm not sure Hades will ever expect a player to come behind that quickly.
Only 20 seconds, although I'd say Hades go for the 3000 IQ play and then go in towards A.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
But he's got a plant. He has the time for it. But is he going to expect Spiidi to be here right now? Oh. Oh, he picks correctly. He's gotten away. Giving him the slip. Does he process in time where Spiidi's going to be coming from? Because he needs to get turned around. Still not focused on app. Still not focused on that van. But Spiidi's waiting for his teammate to get here. Now they're in the spot. Now Hades' position is known. Does he realize the other player's close at hand? He snaps around. So quick. So good. Dodging bullets and saving his life. Hades pulls that clutch from the depths of hell.
Yet again as well. Another round where Sprouts seemingly giving away impossible positions. ENCE players clutching left, right, and center in this series so far, and the narrative continues. Every 50-50, every unlikely scenario, you count ENCE out, and somehow those individuals that we wax lyrical of so much pay dividends, and they're doing so much work. At that time it was Hades, of course it was Spinks on the first map. Spinks again, adding to his already impressive score kill tally in this series.
That's his 50th kill? Actually, no, 52nd kill, if I'm not mistaken. Bulk of that obviously coming on Vertigo, but be some eye-popping numbers for sure. Ooh, nice starter for slaxz, though. ENCE's back, and he's got the big green in this round, so they're going to be looking to slaxz to make a major impact. Rolls. This is just an extra tick of health as that smoke takes a bit of a bounce, but they're just trying to hold the rotate. They're trying to pull him, and they're doing a great job of it. Hades has found so much space here. He's pulled players over. There's 3 on this side of the map. They're just going to leave it to slaxz to hold the line at B, and they are going to test him.
Makes sense. With the buy, you got to take a risk. Ham got utility, 2 deals, and a FAMAS. Spreading out across the sides, was asking for trouble. And if you're going to leave one man to a bomb site right now, it's got to be slaxz. Had a tough time holding off the last B defense until it came to the no-scopes, and the flash again is good. Posts up, can't see them for the moment, getting wrapped from the side, and Spinks taking a lot of space, but Marix fast on the rotates. Drops one for himself. 2 on 2, but AK's in hands for those terrorist players.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for sure. Still, Marix gives them a chance. Gives them the possibility, the option to go for this retake. Now he's got his teammate with him. Or rather, Marix doesn't, but Staehr does. They'll try and battle back through. A rifle upgrade, but a reload needed. A little precious seconds off this clock. They do have a kit. That's on Rawls. Keep an eye on it. They'll need it. Shots are wide for Snappy. Not going to connect. Dia's position might be known here. He's tucked in by the man, and they're just going to go chasing and jumping on over. Staehr does it just in the nick of time, and nicely done on that retake. It's another round for Sprout.
Finally, though, winning out coming after plant, and that one should have been in the hands of ENCE. Multiple times they had big weaponry advantages, and given how much Sprout invested into this round, you can see on the replays there the amount of money they had in the bank. They had nothing left. It would have almost certainly been 10 for ENCE if they'd given up that after plant. But instead, they're up to 6. Chance for 7. Even pistol in the second, and suddenly without an even game, Sprouts, just like on Vertigo, having to fight tooth and nail just to stay in this map.
As we've seen already, though, there's no moment where they feel down and out. Pressure on. Rapid approach in towards the site. Big kill to find for Spinks. There's the opener. That smokes a hail of them. Prevent them from doing anything about this bomb going down. It's been planted now. Post-plant positions assumed. Spinks with just 1 HP. Maintaining presence in the palace. Dumping his util, knowing that he may not get another chance to throw it. And these forward spots could be huge, actually. This is a lot of control. This is a lot of space. And Hades on the flank goes wide with his shots. But he will slow them down. They know he's at the flank. They know he's at the back. They have to deal with him. And now he finds the kill on a Marix. Staehr out in the open, forced on through, is forcing some major heroics to come through from Sprout, but they just don't have the time for this. They just don't have the clock, and they know it. They've already lost this round. There's no possibility of it. That timer is gone.
Tough pill to swallow.
Isn't supposed to matter. This one just keeps on delivering here, Alan.
Keeping our attention, that's for sure. And the scoreline here might paint that ENCE have been quite the superior of their opponents. The gameplay says otherwise. Almost every single round down to the wire. Last one included. Based on what we've seen so far, I see no reason that Sprout couldn't still make this a very competitive second map.
Absolutely. And considering the late comebacks that we've had from Sprout, their ability to gut things out, I mean, we know how much this would mean for them. Being able to put away a 2-0 here right at the tail end be massive for the squad. Madden, a bit of a cheeky spot, and slaxz thought he cleared that. But you know what? You got to really check your corner when this guy's on the scene. Madden loses focus, doesn't expect the players to come through from Palace, so that slight hesitation works out beautifully for them, and a 1-for-1 with D-Hot out at Ticket should set them up for a bomb plant, provided they can recover the bomb, which eventually Staehr will do. They've got a late flank, a really late flank from Spiidi. Spiidi, you better move a little bit quicker than this. This bomb's going to be defused before you can even help your teammate out at this rate. Marix is now coming through. And Marix might have just done enough, but at this point, Hades is like, all right, where is he? Why? What? How? And the complete confusion will work in Spiidi's favor.
I think I'm about as confused as Hades. What just happened?
What was Spiidi doing?
I don't know. It's
like when you play an anti-eco and you have a guy set up to catch the player's saving, but pistol?
I question whether the plan was to do a more open plant, and they just couldn't because they were losing numbers. So if it was a good plant for Catwalk, I guess it makes sense to have a player out come late through the apartments. But didn't play out that way. Nevertheless, though, that will be the pistol round for Sprouts. Now we're getting into the second anti-force by players getting trapped on each other in the apartments, bumping into each other. A lot of deagle damage exchanged as Spinks and Madden chiming in, and now this is starting to get really nerve-wracking as Hades finds another, and Sprout, you can't let it slip again on these second rounds. Spiidi makes it a one-on-one at least. And Spiidi again, we're calling upon him to get this round over the line.
He's just gonna leave. He's just dipping. He's out. He's like, you know what? A looks nice this time of year. I'm out. I'm gone. Through here, and Madden hasn't gotten the audio cue either, but he's got the tickle on the back of his neck that this might be a little something weird going on here, but he doesn't quite put it together fast enough. Spiidi gets that one. Another clutch comes through. This time, 3 kills for the man to make it happen. A 1v2 to convert as well. That's huge for Sprout, right? This would have been the 4th start to a half where they would have been clawing back from a deficit, either losing the pistol or the following force. But Spiidi keeps that from happening.
Honestly, that could have been potentially map over. If they lose that round, get reset, economies in the bin, a great chance for ENCE on the stronger side to build up bank against lesser weaponry. Bit of a reinvestment here from ENCE. They got so many kills, then get more Deagles in place. So certainly a lesser buy than last time around, but could still pose some problems to Sprouts, especially given what we've seen so far in this series.
Seeing Spink's dead at the beginning of this just has to make you so much more comfortable as a Sprout player. He hasn't been unreal so far this map. He's been very good, but like human levels of good. Not quite the ascendant god he was on Vertigo. Still, you gotta breathe a bit of a sigh of relief once that man's dead. This round, comfortable. No problem here. Man wants to make it interesting, but can only do so much. And now we're tied up here. And this, again, is just 7 rounds away from Sprout being able to walk away from this series with a win in their Pro League campaign.
That would be brilliant. Let's not jump the gun too early. We don't want to jinx it.
I like jumping guns, though.
No, that's
you can race so much faster if you start before everyone else.
Exactly. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. That is the Mike mantra as they're getting aggressive towards mid. This is exactly what you wanted to see earlier, so maybe they're tuning into the cast as well.
I mean, the issue we have in NA is usually the other problem. Oh, Hades. Really stuck out here, but Spinks might give him a hand. Distract the focus at the very least. Maybe allow Hades to slip back into a cheeky angle. He's going to try it. And somehow he's given them all the slip. Now in a much better spot. But also a much worse spot to actually find a kill and have impact out of this. Snappy being in the apartments, though, is going to make this interesting as we go late. Because if they actually do decide to commit B, he's got a prime angle. The problem is, ENCE are really gambling on this B play. Now it's not coming through just yet. Hades will reroute, but if Madden gives up his life here to slaxz, what could happen? 50 seconds on the clock. That bomb is in slaxz's hands. He'll have to make a move eventually. 40 seconds. They're still just milling about. Feels like we're waiting with bated breath for this first domino to fall. And now Madden only gets one, but he's got the information. And Snappy's position could be huge. They've got no time to spare. If Snappy can drop that bomb plant there, well, there may just not be too many players left, and they're not looking for him. They're not ready for him at all. There's going to be a freebie. There's that C4 down. And Marix now has to cross an op and a player in apps. There's nothing here for him to work with. And he's down for the count. Another round taken through by Snappy and ENCE.
Crucial one to get over the line. 3-on-3 felt absolutely even. Looking at the money here from Sprouts, a bomb plant would have done so much to make this buy more comfortable. It's still going to be an AWP on slaxz. AK on Marix, but Spiidi and Raoul's going to be worse for wear. Deagle's in play for them, and not quite full utility across the board. Scary stuff for Sprouts. Tricky round. How do you call from this position when you don't have all the nades and all the guns to pull off what you regularly would be going for?
Spiidi stuck between a flame and a flame. Flame and a flame place? I guess you could call a kitchen a flame place. If you have gas burners.
Maybe.
Or wood stove.
Problem is, they're all electric these days. So.
Yeah, I'm moving from an apartment that had a gas stove to an electric stove, and I'm kind of curious about what it's going to be like. Yeah, I like gas. I like gas. I've never lived in a place that had electric, so I'm kind of curious about how that's going to go. Oh, Snappy. Big kill to find here. Shuts down apartments. Shuts down that whole side of the map. slaxz. Opens up the side they need, though. Say. That's the objective here. Spinks and Deho with the rifles are going to have to do the majority of this damage. Snappy really doesn't want to be mounting a retake with an MP9. Missed opportunity here. Smoke going to have to just secure some cover, maybe to get a teammate to rotate back through. But this bomb going down, this is going to be really tough. And at this point... Okay, never mind. All right, D has got them back into this. I was going to say, there's a logic to maybe keeping out. But no. No, not at all now. slaxz with that AWP is going to have to put in some work as they're sending Rawls on a very long mission to try and keep them into this round. But slaxz, he's here. He knows he needs to hold the line, wait for his teammate to flank on through. Might just be able to do it. Time running short. They need to get on that bomb sooner rather than later. They've got no smoke to cover off the connected player. That should be it. That should be done. Rawls should be able to secure this. But he's pulled off. Do they have time? Do they have time? They have to stick this. slaxz, he's got the shot, but the defuse sneaks through. Oh, no.
Oh, have to feel for Sprout. How many times in this series have we been in similar situations? Spinks on the defuse, milliseconds in it. I guess they get the plants thing, think about buying again, but how many more hits can they take before we're going to a third map? ENCE, it's been a very scrappy day of Counter-Strike, and they must have prayed to the right gods because all of these situations are going their way.
Praising the sun, perhaps? A lot of people have been doing that lately. You an Elden Ring fan?
Well, I guess being Nordic, they'd pray to, you know, Thor and the boys.
Gotta do it.
Well, Odin, wouldn't it? Odin would be the principal deity for ENCE.
Certainly the patriarchal one. I mean, at this point, you've got two Danes over on the Sprout side as well. It's just the Scandinavians to just take over CS everywhere. Oh. Marix, so far out, a little too far out before finding anything. He'll lose his life to Hades. And now this could get a little cheeky. Madden having to work his way through Palace. He won't spot the bomb in rotation. And he won't need to go clear out for Rawls because Rawls is dead. So now he's just going to keep going. And Spiidi stalled out. Spiidi stopped up, waiting to see if someone comes through apps. He's going to get shot in the back. Maybe knifed. Knife? Ah. Just did it with the gun. Well done for Madden. Now the bomb's down. The round's basically completely out of whack unless slaxz can do something incredible here. But this one should be going the way of ENCE. Indeed, it just about is. One last nuisance to deal with, and they will not take a point of damage. Actually, Hades did somewhere in there. 5 of them, to be exact. 1 for each of his teammates.
Economically as well, Sprout threw all their chips on red. In that last round, went for the force buy around the saved AWP. And I'm afraid to say, it's come up black. They've lost their money. They're going home feeling a bit disparaged. ENCE, though, from their perspective, raking in the winnings up against an eco now to bank up even more chips and more cash. And looking good to take it to map 3, to be honest, from here.
Thoughts of Ancient in their minds, drifting through. Dreams of the jungle. Snappy, he wants to keep on dreaming. Good damage. No more kills. Spam, always a little risky. Don't want to get caught without bullets. But Spinks has enough to spare. He's economical. And another very clean round. Bank built up at this point. Everyone's sitting above 5K before the util reinvestment. And only 3 more rounds required. But, Alan, you'll recall, we saw another 15-9 scoreline. So it ain't over till it's over.
And by that logic, Sprout should deliberately lose this round to get it to 15.
I think that's how that works.
Yeah, just to, you know, give them the false confidence and then run it back. That would be the smart play. That's what I would call for a caller's coach.
It's all about the storylines here, including as a player.
It's all scripted, you know.
Yeah. I wrote it myself this morning. Now if it does happen, we're going to have our own thread on our
no, it's good for me to have Twitch chat open. Maybe we should focus a little bit on the CS again.
Maybe. No one's done anything, though.
No, I know. It's a little bit boring, but terms of the stakes here, Sprout lose this one, it'll be another eco in the next, so...
You're a ribeye guy?
Am I a ribeye guy?
Yeah, the stakes.
I don't know, to be honest. I just sort of go for the cheapest.
Fair, fair.
I don't really think a lot about it. I'll tell you what, actually, I had a great stake in Poland at Pro League last week. So maybe I'll need to go there again and relive it. As maybe Daicha almost was reliving this round. What is happening? What a headshot from him, dancing around the bench. His teammate might be falling, but Daicha hitting every shot. He's at his stake. He's going out to town afterwards. 14 for ENCE.
Beautifully cooked. All right, now here's the real question. How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium.
It's wrong, but okay.
It's wrong. Okay, enlighten me. What should I be going for?
Personally, I like my steak to moo at me, but like at least medium rare, man. You got to get some pink in there.
Yeah,
I'd
say
it's just no flavor.
The steak I had in Poland was quite a chunky one, so even though I asked for medium, when you actually got to the middle, it was quite rare, and you got like a good variation in kind of the taste and the texture throughout. So I did ask for medium, but I got the whole shebang.
There you go. That's the move. Yeah, personally, I just want it to be seared. If it's good meat, fresh, seared on either side, and still mooing at me. That's the ideal. That's the dream right there. Ooh, slaxz with a Glock and a dream is going to try and go in towards B. This one's an abysmal round. Unless Marix pops off, he doesn't. So this should be over. It's raining bullets, but there's also only one Spiidi there in the sandwich, and Dia will take a bite out of him. Map point found for ENCE. They've been here before. Shades of Vertigo perhaps creeping through, but this time they want to rewrite history. They want to seal the deal here and now. And Sprout have been looking pretty bleak, frankly, since the half switch.
Yes, indeed. But something we have to mention, though, is first time around, that was T side, the weaker side of Vertigo. This time, CT Mirage with money in the bank. I think this is going to be a much tougher task for Sprout. Even so, even up against it, they are piling on the aggression. Look at all this space they've taken in mid, and Staehr capitalizes.
Okay, there's another kill in. Uh-oh. Huh? It's getting interesting here. Plenty of money in reserve for ENCE, even if this one goes wrong. And now Madden will lock down the apartments at the very least, but it's pressure on for Hades. He's got the scope of his comrade now. slaxz down for the count, looking for more. Another. Hades, ruining their day. He'll finally go down. But he may have just done enough. Staehr now has to pull off a nutty clutch. This bomb will attempt to go down. Numbers punched in. Got at least time for the plant. Staehr something to play off of. A huge clutch needed. The new addition, he brings it down to just the one. Madden on the other side. Snappy out of play. There's time available, and Staehr will slip in towards the firebox. A Molotov on Madden's belt. That could ruin this, but does he trust himself enough to break out the utility? Does he trust his read? Does he even have the read? Doesn't appear to. Focused on ramp right now. He might just go for the hop. Gonna go for the stick, and that's the wrong answer. Staehr's got it. And suddenly, visions of Vertigo might be flitting through ENCE's mind, because that one went all the wrong way.
Okay, take a breather. It's starting to get interesting here. The buy from Sprout isn't perfect. They didn't keep a lot of numbers alive, so it is going to be a Mac 10 on Rouse. Galil on Marix. I would like to see an AK on him, honestly, given how many rounds he's opened up. Still not too bad. And looking at the end side of things, they've decided it's double AWP's going to be out, but the early catwalk jump caught out in the open. Snappy finds one, but he's going to retreat into connector. And we're left all square. 4 versus 4. Until Spiidi gets another.
All right. Pressure starting to mount here. Once again. He's been able to step up for the squad, but this time he's over towards B, and Sprout have not chosen any direction to commit. They've got the presence in connector. Why not sit on this? Plenty of time to whittle off that clock. And plenty of map control to see if ENCE will play themselves into. Does seem like this might eventually end A. Not a lot of smokes for it, though. Yeah, they're going to have to do a lot with the guns as well. This next kill could be crucial. They're grouping up. They're massing up. Dia trying his luck here. Gotta be a bit wary. Gonna need all those bullets if they come through. And there's the flashbang that gained the space. But Diha gets the kill. Drops the bomb as well. This could be a catastrophe for Sprout. And Diha is laying down the law. He's gained himself a new gun as well. And Diha single-handedly from the jungle cuts them down one after another. All onto Marix here. But it's disaster time for Sprout. Can the young guns see their way through? No. He's surrounded. He's cut down. It's a crossfire. And that's the map over and out. We're going to Ancient.
Oh, crazy stuff there at the end. It felt like perhaps it was doable, perhaps a comeback. At least to make it a little bit more competitive could be on the cards. We're setting it up, of course. That's what we saw on Vertigo. I have to say, I still